Where's north from here?
Alright trainers, I'm some northern guy, and my goodness, it's been a while, hasn't it? I've had to take a bit of a break from YouTube recently for health reasons, and won't be making content as frequently as I have in the past going forward, at least for a little while. But I am back with the long-awaited follow-up to my video for my planned team for Pokémon Shield. My actual team for Pokémon Shield. And I never really did come up with a better title for these videos, did I? If you're new to my channel and my past Pokemon Team series of videos, then what I've been doing since Ultra Sun and Moon came out is make a video about the planned team I want to use for the upcoming games, and then when the games have all been done with and I've completed it, and a couple of months later I've made a video about what my actual team was that I ended up using and seeing how it compared to what I wanted to do. It's just for a bit of fun, really. So if you haven't seen my planned team video for Pokemon Shield, or if you need a bit of a refresher on what that team was, then it was Sobble, Obstagoon, Duraludon, Roly-Coly, Galarian Ponyta, and Gliscor. Now bear in mind that when I recorded that video, we didn't know the final evolution for Sobble or Roly-Coly. Neither did we know if the assumed Galarian Rapidash would get a further evolution, like Obstagoon, and the full list of returning Pokemon hadn't yet been revealed. So there was still a chance that Gliscor was in the game.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run.
Now my team took a lot of twists compared to this planned team, and I ended up using a rotation of 9 Pokemon right up into the Pokemon League. I tend to do that a lot. I really struggle to just use a team of 6 because there's so many Pokemon that I want to use in one playthrough. But even so, buckle up, because this is a lot different to how my Ultra Sun and Let's Go Eevee teams compared to their planned teams. Let's start rather fittingly with my starter. There's not much to say here. I did choose Sobble, and I have fallen in love with Inteleon. It turns out Sobble's final evolution is based off a spy, which a certain someone predicted a long time ago. This is probably why I love Inteleon so much. One of my theories was actually correct. And I probably have to say that Inteleon is my favourite Pokemon introduced in Gen 8 so far. We'll have to wait and see what the DLC brings. Oh yeah, a freakishly amazing Gigantamax form, which I cannot wait to get my hands on. So after grabbing Sobble from Leon, the first team member I actually caught was a Wooloo. And I'm expecting most people were the same. I always planned on using Wooloo until I found something better to replace it with, but by the time I did, Wooloo had evolved into Dubwool, and I just couldn't drop it. So that's where I started my rotation. Dubwool is surprisingly fantastic actually, and a lot of fun to use. It could eat physical attacks for days because mine had the fluffy ability, but sadly its move pool was a little bit lacking. Shortly after picking up Wooloo, I caught a Rookidee, and I had no intention of using Corviknight on my first playthrough since I knew almost everyone would be using Corviknight as well, and I like my teams to be a little bit different. However, just like Dubwool, I found Rookidee and especially Corvisquire incredible Pokemon, and I just couldn't let them go. And I'm glad it didn't, because Corviknight is an absolute beast. It came in clutch in many battles, and it was a great asset to the team. By now it was time for me to leave Wedgehurst behind and head on to the wild area, but before I did, I picked up the second member of my team that I actually planned on getting, Galarian Zigzagoon. I am so happy Gen 8 gave us new evolutions of older Pokemon, and I think getting around why they couldn't evolve previously with Galarian form exclusive evolutions is a brilliant idea. I was really keen to use Obstagoon for this very reason, and because I had fond memories of how unexpectedly amazing Alolan Raticate was in Let's Go Eevee. There's something about normal and dark types I really like. Needless to say, Obstagoon and its pre-evolved forms didn't disappoint, and they easily destroyed the likes of Bede in the early game when he used a load of psychic types, and Alistair. These 4 accompanied me across the wild area to Motorstoke and onto Turffield for my first badge. But along the way, I added Roly-Coly to my team, who stayed with me all the way to the end and fully evolved into Colossal. Whilst not as amazing as I'd hoped it to be, and certainly not the direction I thought Roly-Coly's evolution design would go, Colossal was a heavy hitter and was ultimately Leon's Charizard's downfall thanks to its Stealth Rocks. It's got a very fun move pool as well, with its signature move Tar Shot making the opponent weak to fire type attacks, and access to Skull to help out against other rock types and ground types. And it needs it too, seeing as it's 4 times weak to ground and water. With this team of 5 I gained my first gym badge and pressed on to Hulbury and Nessa's gym. But on the way I picked up yet another unexpected team member, the free Toxel given to you at the daycare. Its unique typing of electric and poison is really cool, even if it is another 4 times weakness to ground. And at this point, I didn't actually have anything to deal with Nessa's water types. Surprisingly, Toxel was very easy to train and fun to use. My Toxel evolved into the low-key form of Toxtricity, and honestly, I think this is the better design. The purple and ice blue colour scheme goes very well together, and there's something I really love about a good baseline. After defeating Nessa, I decided to keep Toxtricity on my team for other water types and pressed on back to Motorstoke, defeated Kabu for my 3rd badge very easily thanks to Drizzle and Carkol, and made the journey across the wild area to Hammerlock. Shortly after arriving, I headed to Route 6 and grabbed yet another Pokemon I had no intention of using, Galarian Yamask. I've never even used normal Yamask before, but I really wanted a ground immunity. Colossal and Toxtricity were 4 times weak to ground, but Corviknight covered it as a flying type. However, both Corviknight and Inteleon were weak to electric, and I knew Alistair was coming up, so I thought a ghost type would help in case Obstagoon somehow got knocked out. Yamask didn't stay Yamask for long though. Pretty much as soon as I caught it, I went through the bizarrely convoluted task of evolving it into Runerigus. And oh my god, I can't think of another time I was so surprised with how much I liked a Pokemon. I really didn't expect to like Runerigus that much, and it became one of my favourite team members. See, this is why I force myself to use Pokemon I've never tried before every time I play through a Pokemon game. I would never have touched Yamask in the past, but Galarian Yamask turned out to be a very unexpected treat. Now those of you good at maths will realise I'm now at 7 Pokemon, so this is where the rotation began. And it only got bigger because after beating Alistair, I made my way through the Glenwood Tangle and finally bagged the much coveted Galarian Ponyta. Look at this thing, it's so adorable and full of life. Ponyta was amazing, it held its own in many tough battles, and finally it began to evolve. Galarian Rapidash was gonna be amazing. Finally, we'd get the majestic fairy-type Alicorn we deserve. Oh. Look, I'll level with you guys. I was really disappointed with Galarian Rapidash. I mean, it actually got the fairy-type upon evolving, which is cool, but I was expecting so much more. Maybe I was just a little too excited for it. I kept Galarian Rapidash in my rotation, but sadly it was the least favourite on my team. Regardless, it certainly helped out in some big battles, like rival battles with Marnie, the gym battle against Piers, and the gym battle against Raihan. But apart from that, it was a little lackluster. It very rarely got KOs, and yeah, I was quite disappointed. With 8 Pokemon in my rotation, I made my way across Galar, gained my 5th and 6th gym badges, and then I made a big decision that changed my team for the better. I really wanted a Duraludon. I was set on Duraludon. I had fallen for Duraludon, but I was very conscious I hadn't even seen a Duraludon yet. And there was only 2 gyms left to face at this point, one of which was the Dragon-type gym, and I kinda really wanted a Dragon-type for that gym. I looked up where I could catch one, and to my horror, I found out they were on the last route before Winden and the Pokemon League. Now I had no idea how much of the story was left at this point. I assumed, due to the other pacing of the game, that once I reached Winden, I just did the league and then that was it, and all the big world-ending storyline that I knew was going to come eventually would be in the post-game. And I didn't want to catch something right at the end of the game to just use at the Pokemon League. But I also really wanted that Dragon type on my team. So, instead of Duraludon, I got a Dreepy. Now the only place you can catch Dreepy is at Lake of Outrage in the wild area. And you can only catch Dreepy there in 3 weather conditions, 2 of which give you a 1% chance to encounter it in the grass, and the other gives you a 2% chance. Because I only had 6 badges at that point, I could only catch Pokemon up to level 50, so I couldn't catch the Dracloak that were wandering around in the overworld because they were too strong. And the Dreepy in the grass ranged from level 50 to level 52, meaning there was a 66% chance upon finding a 2% chance Dreepy that it'd be too strong for me to catch. I could have just gone and got the 7th badge from Piers and then come back, but I didn't want to waste the experience I would have gained from Piers that could have gone towards that Dreepy as well and help it fully evolve faster. So when the weather was right, I went to the Lake of Outrage and began looking. How bad could it be? 2.5 hours. I spent 2.5 hours looking for a level 50 Dreepy, but I found one. I caught the little shit, and after leveling it up once, it evolved into Dracloak, finishing off my rotation. Admittedly, Dracloak was pretty useless against Piers, I just brought it along to get it some experience. But it was invaluable against Raihan and carried its weight through the Pokemon League semi-finals, evolving into Dragapult during the finals, just before Chairman Rose developed his God complex. Then when I finally faced off against Leon, Dragapult was a key member in claiming my victory, taking out Leon's own Dragapult. And I have to say that Dragapult has become my favourite pseudo-legendary. Everything from its design to its unique typing of Dragon and Ghost is amazing, and I'm so glad I took the time to hunt for a Dreepy. I was actually about to give up and I told myself I'd encounter one more random Pokemon, and if it wasn't a level 50 Dreepy, I'd give in and make do. And then it appeared. It was just meant to be. And that was it. Those were all the Pokemon I used, so let's recap my team rotation. Inteleon, Dubwool, Corviknight, Obstagoon, Colossal, Toxtricity, Runerigus, Galarian Rapidash, and Dragapult. 9 Pokemon in total. And even though you can access your PC boxes remotely in Sword and Shield, just like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and you can do it in between battles at the Pokemon League, I only wanted to take a set team of 6 to the Pokemon League finals and stick with them. So my final team of 6 was Inteleon, Corviknight, Obstagoon, Colossal, Runerigus, and Dragapult. And oh my god, what a team this was. I really enjoyed Pokemon Shield and using these Pokemon. They were all brilliant. The only battle I sort of struggled with in the finals was Nessa, since I didn't have Toxtricity, but I still beat her relatively easily. I just had to muscle my way through. Leon was an absolute cakewalk. I used a different Pokemon for each of his team and didn't lose a single party member. I 6-0'd the unbeatable champion. So that was my final Pokemon Shield team, but how does it compare to my planned team? Well, I'd say it's quite a drastic change. Sadly, Gliscor isn't in the game yet, so that couldn't be helped. But there was no Duraludon at all in my rotation, and even though I did use Galarian Rapidash, it didn't make the final cut. But at least 50% of my planned team make it, those being Inteleon, Colossal, and Obstagoon. What do you think of my Pokemon Shield champion team? Let me know in the comments, and tell me what your team was for Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on social media so you never miss a video. Also, I just wanted to tell you real quick that I've made a Twitch channel, and I'm planning to do some streaming both on Twitch and YouTube. I haven't really thought out a schedule yet, but that's still in the works. But either way, make sure you head on over to Twitch, follow me over there, and follow me on Twitter, because I will always tweet when I'm streaming and what platform I'm going to be streaming on. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you next time, but until then, keep training and have a good one. See you later.